Okay, so we're doing 6.7, multiplying conjugates. And all that means is that when you multiply two binomials, you have one that is a positive and one that has a subtraction in there. And so this is going to be very, very similar to what we did with multiplying binomials. Again, this is just using the distributive property, or some people like to use the FOIL method because it reminds them how to multiply. So as a reminder, when you multiply here, you are multiplying your first two terms inside both parentheses. So x times x is x squared. Then you multiply your two outer numbers. X times the -3 is -3x. Then you multiply your two inner numbers, which is a positive 3x. And then you multiply your two last terms, which gives you a -9. And then when you look at this, what do you know about those two middle terms? What's going to happen?
You can
delete them, cancel them. They end up with as a 0x, and we don't need that 0x. So this right here is 0. So when we write our final answer, it's just x squared minus 9.
So could we just skip that whole process of writing down the -3x plus 3x?
Yes, so you could. What you're basically doing, if you look at this example right here, is that you're squaring the two first terms and you're squaring the second two terms, or multiplying them together. Okay, so if you look at this one, you know that you're adding the 5x and you're subtracting the 5x. So those are going to disappear. So you could just say the answer here is going to be x squared minus 25. However, if you do not see that pattern, then you need to follow the FOIL method, which would be x squared plus 5x minus 5x minus 25. These two cancel out, so you end up with x squared minus 25. So are there any questions on that process? Okay, let's go down here and do example 2. Okay, we're going to multiply our first two terms. That's the f in FOIL, and you get 25x squared. You're going to multiply the two outer terms. That's the o in FOIL, and you get minus 20x. You multiply the two inner terms, and that's the I in FOIL, and you get plus 20x. And then you multiply the two last terms, that's the L in FOIL, and you get minus 16. And again, these two middle terms cancel out, so you're left with 25x squared minus 16. So are there any questions? Okay, I want you all to do practice 2 on your own, and then we'll check it. Okay, so Noah, what did you get? I mean, not Noah, Isaiah, sorry.
I got a 9x squared minus 4.
Did anyone get something different?
No.
Okay, anyone need me to FOIL it out? Danny?
Oh, wait, never mind.
Okay. All right, we're going to move down to example 3. Example 3 now has 2 variables, so it does get a little bit tricky. You just have to make sure you're paying attention to the variables. So in this one, our first two terms, 4x times 4x, we get 4x squared. And then 4x times a -2y squared, okay, is a -8xy squared. Okay, then we have 2y squared times 4x, we get a positive 8xy squared. And the two last terms is a -4y to the 4th. Okay. Anyone have a question about that? Okay, so then these two cancel out, and we end up with 4x squared minus 4y to the 4th as our final answer. Oh, sorry. Questions? Yes, Mary.
Yeah.
What did I do? Oh, yes. Sorry, another mistake. Okay. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. If you were just copying what I copied down, you need to make sure you change that. Okay. All right, I want you to go ahead and do example 3 on your own. Okay, so this last problem, you should have gotten 9x to the 4th. And we know the pattern because they're conjugates, those two middle terms are going to cancel out. So I'm just going to multiply this one and I'm going to multiply this one. And I get minus 4y to the 4th. Okay. So that's all for 6.7. It's very simple compared to some of the things that we've done. So make sure you look at Canvas to see where what your homework is.